Hello everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live. Today is Tuesday, February 18th, and it's 2 p.m. This is new for me. Normally I go live on Thursdays at 7 p.m. So this is a change up and something new that I'm doing in the new year. Although it's strange to me because it's already February 18th. So I'm trying to figure out where the entire first part of the year has gone, and the changes that I'm making are just now coming into effect. But part of the reason for that was because I was in Hawaii for 3 weeks, was back for a week, missed all of you guys, and then last week I came down with the flu, and it was bad. In fact, my apologies ahead of time if I cough while I'm doing my Facebook Live, because I still have the residual cough, although I am feeling much better. So before I go any further, let me introduce myself. I am April Davis of April Davis Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Spring Hill, Kansas. So can you see what's going on outside? Oh my goodness. Today is a wintry, blustery day. And in fact, it's 2 degrees. Actually, it's warming up. Earlier, it was -1. So we are actually getting warmer, although I don't think it's going to last very long. I think as soon as the day passes and the sun sets, we're going to dip down into even more negative temperatures. But I am warm and cozy here in my studio and excited to be with all of you guys. If you are watching, please do say hello, just so that I know that you're there, where you're from. If you're watching the replay, please say hello in the replay. I love to see who's joining me during these Facebook Lives. And then also know that once the Facebook Live is over, this video will be uploaded to YouTube as well, so I'm able to reach even more people. So today, we are going to be just catching you up on some of the things that have been going on. February is moving fast and furious, and we have our celebration going on right now, and celebration ends the end of this month. So let me change my screen just a little bit. We'll come back and forth and do things, but I wanted to show you the celebration flyer and just remind you what celebration is all about. It's a big sale that Stampin' Up! Has the first of the year, and basically you get to select free items from this celebration catalog with qualifying purchases. So this year, the celebration flyer has stamp sets and ribbons and paper that you can select for a $60 order, or if you place a larger order, a $120 order, you actually can select a number of different products from the catalog for the larger order. Now today we're actually going to be utilizing this heart-shaped bundle. I've got some really cute cards to share with you, but you can see how cute these cards are with the bundle just in the pictures that Stampin' Up! Is sharing. So we will be working with this bundle today. And then also I wanted to share with you that outside of the celebration flyer, Stampin' Up! Has added even additional items to the free product list. So for, again, that $60 order, you can select some additional items. And when you go to checkout, the checkout system takes you through all of this. So all of these pictures will come up and you can select whatever it is that you're interested in. All right, what else do I want to tell you about while I've got you here? We also have a new mini catalog that came out in January, and this goes through the end of April. So we've got plenty of time, and I've got a number of different stamp sets and bundles that I'm going to be sharing with you in the coming weeks from this catalog. But today I wanted to share with you that in addition to the bundle, the heart-shaped stamp set bundle that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I'm also utilizing this Floral Delight designer series papers. So you're going to see some of this, and this actually comes from the mini catalog. All right, a few more things I want to talk to you about before we actually get into the cards. So now I'm going to take it to my website. Remember, we were talking about celebration. Well, there's a lot going on with respect to celebration. Stampin' Up's got a lot of things in their last chance pile and items that are like heavily discounted. So I just wanted to share with you, you can find all of this going into the online store, and I'll show you how to get there here in just a second. But I just wanted to share with you some of these discounts, some of the Halloween stuff, potions and spell dies, normally $32. Marked down to $19.20. Here's some woven ribbon, normally $9.50, marked down to $4.75. I point all of this out because there's a couple things that are going to happen. I'm going to come see you. Here we go. A couple things are going to happen. Next week is the last week for Sale-a-Bration. And because we've got so many products that are being discounted and they're last chance products, I'm going to pick next week my top 5 or 6, and I'm going to feature them on my Facebook post every single day for the next few days, starting next week. So it'll be all week long. You'll see this. And I'll share with you some projects that I've made with these stamp sets and bundles and papers and ribbons and all these things that are discounted. Now, you can get some great buys. Look, this satin ribbon, normally $10, discounted, last chance to $4. I'm going to feature the ones that I like just to share with you. These are my favorite products, and they're now, either last chance or discounted deeply. Anything that you purchase next week or this week, whenever you choose to, if you choose to, is going to count towards Sale-a-Bration. So you're going to be able to get free product if you beat the minimums for Sale-a-Bration. So I'm just going to highlight those so you guys can see, because sometimes you just don't get out there and look around. And so I'm just going to feature a few of them so you can see. Then also be on the lookout the first of the week. I may send it out on Sunday, but I'm going to be doing a mystery box promotion next week. This is so fun. So what's going to happen? When you place an order in my online store, and we'll go there in just a second, but when you place an order in my online store, if you place a $50 order, you're going to get a mystery box filled with goodies, free from me. I pay for the shipping. You're going to get a mystery box of goodies worth up to $50 in Stampin' Up product. It could be stamp sets, it could be dies, it could be paper, it could be embellishments. That it's going to be a mystery box. But when you place that order, not only are you potentially going to be able to select something from the Sale-a-Bration flyer, but you're also going to get a mystery box from me. If you place a $100 order, for example, you're going to get a mystery box from me for $100. $100 worth of product. I've got retired product, paper, embellishments. It's going to be a mystery, but it's going to be fun. And if you hit the $150 level, you're going to get a mystery box from me for $150. This is only for next week. So I will send an email out on Sunday reminding you that the mystery box celebration is starting. It's going to be paired with the Sale-a-Bration through the end of the month, because February 28th is just around the corner. And might I also say that if you're not on my email list, this is the perfect time to join my email list. And again, I'll show you where you go to do all of this. But I started this year providing a free tutorial, and these are cool cards, a free tutorial that goes out the end of every month. So this one will go out on the 28th of February. It's a free tutorial for 4 cards that you can create, and it's going to go to everybody that's on my email list. So even if, there's not anything else that you're interested in, you don't really, you're not interested in, my classes or my special events, it's okay, because you're still going to get that free tutorial at the end of the month as long as you're part of my email list. Now, the good news is that if you are part of my email list, you're going to get a lot of good information about when I am having my classes and my special events and my mystery box promotions. So you don't want to miss out on any of this fun. There's a lot of activity going on next week, and it all starts on Sunday when I send out that email. All right, I promised you that I was going to go and show you where you can go to get registered for all of this at my email list. When you go to April Davis Creations, just type in aprildaviscreations.com. And the first thing that's going to happen within a few seconds is there's going to be a pop-up that gives you the opportunity to sign up for my email list. So go ahead and do that, and that'll get you automatically onto my list. And then I can start sending you updates on everything, including that free tutorial at the end of the month. Additionally, we were talking about all of the exclusive items in the catalogs that are for sale. If you come up here to shop Stampin' Up, that takes you to my Stampin' Up store. So all you have to do is go to aprildaviscreations.com, easy peasy, hit on shop Stampin' Up, and it will take you to my Stampin' Up store. In fact, let me see, I was going to click on it, but I don't want it to take it away from my website because I want to show you some of the things. But as soon as you get into my store, all you have to do is hit shop now, and you're right there, and you can start scrolling. All right, the other thing that I wanted to share with you that's going on currently is, obviously this is a to-go class. I'll come back and talk about the to-go class here in just a second. But I've got 2 clubs that are being released right now. Currently, registration is open for the Create Happiness Club. The Create Happiness Club is a bi-monthly club. It's a subscription club, but it's bi-monthly, and the projects are more involved, they're more challenging. You get a tutorial, you get a video, and you get all the product that you need to create the cards or special 3D projects that are part of that particular monthly kit. Again, it's bi-monthly, and the purpose and the reason for that is that they are more involved. They take a little bit more time. If you're an avid crafter and you like being challenged, these are the kinds of cards that are going to challenge you. Sometimes they may seem to be clean and simple, but there's going to be more of them, and they're a little bit more challenging. So that Create Happiness Club is going on right now. This particular one is following a one-sheet wonder, and you're going to be making 11 cards. So you can come to my website and you can register here, and it'll take you to the subscription page so that you can get subscribed. All right, that's club number 1. Create Happiness Club, more challenging cards, more for the avid crafter. The next one I want to share with you is my brand new this year Crafting Happiness Monthly Card Club. Now, this card club is a monthly subscription card. You get it every single month. It's delivered straight to your door. You get everything you need. You get the card stock, you get the designer series paper, you get the embellishments. There's anywhere from $22 to $25 worth of Stampin' Up, new Stampin' Up product in this kit. You will make 8 cards, 2 of each card. The only thing that doesn't come with this is either the stamps and or the dies, the bundle, but you have the option to add those on if you choose to. Some people already have those stamps and dies, so they don't need to have those added on. They're just interested in the kit. Others may have something that's very similar in their library that they don't necessarily want to make exactly what I was making in the kit, but they've got the product or the dies, the stamps, to be able to create something very similar. They're just excited to get the paper and the embellishments and the cardstock. This club actually, registration for it actually opens on the 21st. I know today's just the 18th. I'm sharing it with you now because it's just a couple days away. It's on my website. So when it opens, you can go out and you can hit subscribe here. And then every month you're going to receive right to your door everything you need to create 8 cards, 2 of each of those cards. And they are fun cards. All right, I think that's what I have for updates right now. Let me come back to you for just a second so I can actually start sharing with you what we're going to do for our cards today. So again, I shared with you, we are utilizing the Heart Shaped Bundle, both the dies and the stamps. And these are the 3 cards that we're going to make with that bundle, paired with that Floral Delight Designer Series paper. Had to go look it up again. So there's card number 1, there's card number 2, and here is card number 3. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get started with card number 3. You know, one of the things that I just thought about, and I'll do this at the end, don't let me forget to do this at the end, but I didn't even tell you about my to-go class. So I'll show you again where you can register for the to-go class, but this is a free class for all of you, and it will go on to YouTube. It's a free class. If you choose to create these cards yourself and you want the kit, you can receive the kit for free as well by placing an order in my online store. So regardless, now you can create these cards. I'm going to show you how to create these cards today. If you decide that you want to push the easy button and create these cards, but you want the product, the kit that comes with this, then you can place an order in my online store and I will ship you the kit enough for you to be able to make 2 of each of these cards. The only thing that I'm not going to include is obviously the stamp set and the dies. You'll have to do that on your own, and or you can just do something in your library. Maybe you've got something similar to this, so you can go ahead and create that way. But I will show you again at the end of my time where you can register for that, because you're going to want to utilize the host code, but we'll come back to that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to grab a drink of water because I feel a cough coming on. Excuse me. I think that's what happens when I talk too much. And I'm excited. I'm excited to be back with you guys. Listen, I'm excited to be back among the living. I was down for the count with the flu this last week. So I'm happy to be here. Okay, this card, basically, we're using basic white cardstock. We're using some of the designer series paper. I have a piece of old olive cardstock. I have another piece of basic white cardstock that we're going to stamp on. And then I've also gone ahead and punched the flowers that we're using and the label that we're using. And remember, this all came from the dies that are part of this bundle. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I think the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and stamp. And these are photopolymer stamps, so I'm going to bring out my Stampin' Pierce mat. I've got my die right here, or not my die, I'm sorry, my stamp right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick it up. And then, let me see, I want it to be a little bit straighter just because I stamp straighter when my stamps are straighter on my block. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna stamp it in the old olive. So let me bring that out. And we'll go ahead and get this all set up. I have been using this stamp set a lot. I actually should have probably pulled out some of my cards that I've made previously with this stamp set because I'm having so much fun with it. All right, so let's go ahead and get this stamped down. I probably should have stamped it up just a little bit higher. Let me look at this and see. That might be just a little bit too low. So I'm gonna turn it over. I wanna have room for my sentiment. So let's go ahead, we're gonna turn it over and I'm gonna stamp it up just a little bit higher. Wasn't thinking when I started. Okay, so let's go ahead. And just to save me from any little faux pas that I happen to have, I still have a little bit of flu fog. So if I do make mistakes, I'm just gonna blame it on flu fog. All right, there we go. We've got that stamped, and then I'm gonna leave that out because the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to stamp the sentiment. So let me clean this off real quick just so I don't get it in my way. And I'm gonna bring the sentiment in, and we are stamping My Heart Loves Your Heart. So let me go ahead. This looks a little crooked on my stamp set or my block. Photopolymer stamps can bend very easily. And so when you go to pick them up, it's better if you just put them down and then pick them up, because you stand a better chance of picking them up straight. All right, so let me go ahead and get that inked up. And I'm going to pull it down just a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still see, but I want to make sure that I can see as well. And I can't come over down a little bit more. I'm going to try to keep it in the window, but I need to be able to see where I'm stamping as well. And I don't want to get my head in here too bad, but I need to be able to look down. All right. There we go. Oh, good job. Good job. All right, so got my stamping done. Get this cleaned off. Close up my ink pad. I'm going to move these pieces out of the way. And now I'm going to bring my card base in and get it folded. I've already got it scored, but I want to make sure that it lines up on the edges as well. So go ahead and get this burnished. And then I'm going to take the designer series paper, and the designer series paper is actually cut a little long. So what I'm going to do, let me see, is my trimmer close by? I'm gonna go ahead, and my trimmer's right behind me. So let me grab that. I was just gonna trim it off with scissors, glue it down and trim it off with scissors, but I think this is easier. So my card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm just going to take this to 5 1/2. And I am gonna just take a little bit over in case my fold wasn't straight or something. And we're gonna go ahead and glue that down. So let me move this out of the way. Make sure we got this lined up. We do. So let's go ahead and get it glued down. Obviously, my glue of preference is the liquid glue. I use the Tombow Mono Liquid Glue, and I transfer it to my precision tip little glue bottle. I'm constantly filling this little guy up, but I just like the precision that I get. The monotype is my favorite glue, but it does come out from the bottle, its original bottle, a little thick sometimes. It's okay if you're using big surfaces, but when you're not using a big surface, it's a lot. And I would rather just have a little bit of glue. I just need enough for flexibility to move things around. All right, so let's take this label, or this card base in the Old Olive, and I'm going to adhere this piece down. And center it in my layer, and again, it's not very straight. I'm not very good about getting things down straight, but I don't worry about it because my glue slides. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, let's go ahead and decorate it first. So I've got 4, I can't count. I've got 4 of the little flowers that were cut. And then of course I've got my sentiment. I am reaching over here to pull in some dimensionals. I actually want my regular dimensionals, and then I also want my mini dimensionals. So here's my minis, and I've got a few of the regular here. So I'm gonna use the regular for later. The mini is gonna actually go on my sentiment, because my sentiment label is so thin. And then I can just very easily place these down, and I'm gonna put 2 on each end, or 1 on each end I should say, and then 1 in the middle. And then I can use my take your pick. Oops, there we go. And I'm gonna take the backings off. So I've got my backings off here. Clean that up and put it in the bin. And then let's go ahead and get this centered down here. And I'm just going to, I haven't tacked it down completely. I just want to make sure it's straight. And that looks good to me. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take little glue dots. I guess I could use glue dots. Let's do that. I haven't done that in a while. I was gonna just use glue, but sometimes it's fun just to use your glue dots. So I'm gonna take my flowers and I'm going to put them on my glue dots. And I'm just going to do that. I'm doing the easy button today. Not that the glue is hard, but sometimes it's kind of fun just to do this. So now I've got my flowers down. Let me see. There we go. Okay. So now what I can do is I can just peel them off and I can peel and stick. So I'm going to put one here and then I'm going to kind of layer them on top of each other. As you can see, they're just going to kind of go on top of each other. And then I'm going to use this one here. And I probably should have went up a little bit higher. So I think this one, because I'm already down at my point, I'm going to tuck this one in right underneath here. And then that way it'll end at my point. And then the last, well, it's not the last thing, but now I want to put my dimensionals on. We're going to embellish this as well, but let me get my dimensionals on here first. So we've got this. This is such an easy card to make, but so fun and so pretty. So let me get these off. And then I'm going to do what I normally do because I just want to make sure I get it straight, and I'm just not good about getting it straight. And these dimensionals are very, very sticky. And so I'm going to put some glue on the back of them. You've seen me do this before. It's just something that I do that helps me out so that I don't have to worry about tearing something off. And then I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to layer it down and I'm going to see if I can get this straight. So I'm just going to lay it down just enough that it will hold, and then I can pick it up and I can kind of look at it to see, is it straight? Is that straight? That's good for me. Hold on a second. The glue is slippery, so it does move around. I'm more interested in I think my sides are fine. It's my top to bottom that I want to straighten up. So just giving it a look. That looks good to me. All right, we're gonna let that set for a second, and while it's doing that, I'm going to bring in my embellishments, and I'm going to use the pecan pie and clear ribboned adhesive back dots. Excuse me. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick these up. Well, I'm going to try. Let me use my little putty end of my take your pick. And I'm going to put an embellishment in the center of each of my flowers. Pick this one up right there, and now we've got this one, and I'm going to place it right here. And let me move all this stuff out of the way. And we have card number 1 completed. How pretty is that? Such a pretty, simple, elegant card. This is what I would call a clean and simple card. Very simple, very elegant, very easy. All right, let's move on to card number 2. Now, card number 2, I'm going to do a little playing around with this. You know, sometimes when I come to the table after I've created the card, I come to do my to-go class, and maybe I want to change things up just a little bit. The tutorial's already created, so the tutorial that you'll receive with your to-go class is going to show you how to do it exactly the way that I've done it, the way you're looking at it now. I'm just going to give you a little bit more to work with, and part of it is just because I never seem to make the same card twice, the same way. All right, so what I'm gonna do is, you can see there's a heart here. It's stamped in. You can see it as I get a little bit closer. But I have this heart here, and I wanna make sure that it pops out. And to me, it just kind of gets lost just a little bit. And part of the reason for that is the paper, the designer series paper that I've chosen to use, has a lot of the Daffodil Delight color in it. So let me show you the kit to start. You've got your basic white cardstock. We have a layer of Daffodil Delight. We have a layer of designer series paper. And then I also have a piece of white cardstock that we're gonna cut one of the hearts out of. I actually have already cut one of the hearts, but I wanted to show you a little trick that I use. And then I've got a label that was cut from my Stylish Shapes dies that we're gonna stamp my thoughts of you are all heart-shaped. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. let's go ahead and let's get our stamping done first. So I'm gonna move this off to the side, and we're gonna stamp on this piece of Designer Series paper. Now, I wanna make my heart stand out a little bit more. So what I did is I brought in my Stamparatus. Now the Stamparatus is not available in the catalog anymore. This is a stamp positioner. You may have other stamp positioners. There's a number of different companies that have stamp positioners. I'm trying to think. I have a number of the Misty stamp positioners from My Sweet Petunia. So there are other stamp positioners out there. And what I'm going to show you that I'm going to try to do with this particular card today, I feel like requires a stamp positioner. You do not have to have one. You don't have to do what I'm doing today. You can create your card just the way that I created it and just do that single stamping. But we'll show you what I'm going to do. All right, so we're going to start out by we're just going to put our heart down. And I'm going to bring my heart over just a little bit. And I've got it centered there in the center. And I want to have some highlighting to it. So I'm going to bring in pecan pie. Now, this pecan pie, I'm going to, actually I'm looking for a piece of scrap. I'm gonna do a second generation stamp with it. So I'm gonna take some of my ink, and I'm just gonna put it underneath my lid, or my cover, if you will. And I'm gonna stamp my heart. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a piece of scrap, and I'm gonna place my scrap down, and I'm gonna stamp off. Pull this up, I've stamped off. I'm gonna take the stamp again, and I'm gonna second generation it. Okay, and hopefully we have just a very light image. And we do, I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit more over here. If not, we may have to do this again, because maybe not. I'm not gonna get carried away. You can see it, it's a little bit lighter here than it is up here. That's okay. It's still going to have the effect that I think I'm looking for. And I'm dropping things, so hold on just a second. Let me get this picked up, because I'm gonna need it in a minute. Now what I wanna do is I wanna clean off my stamp. And I'm gonna bring in, I'm gonna close this up. I'm gonna bring in my Daffodil Delight ink. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and ink this up again. This is what we would have done before, except for we have the brown. Oh, you know what? Sorry, guys. Okay, something that I wanted to do. Maybe we didn't have to do it, but I want to. So it kind of defeats my purpose if I don't do this. All right, we're back to, I've stamped the pecan pie. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our stamp off. And I'm gonna line it back up, but I'm just gonna offset it just like a teeny tiny little bit. So I'm gonna kind of stand up here a little bit. And I don't wanna line it up exactly. We're just gonna do it offset just a tad, so I can kind of look through. That's the beauty of having a photopolymer stamp set. You can look through it and see where you're lining it up. All right, now back to where we were. Okay, bringing in Daffodil Delight. Make sure I get this inked up really well. And you can see why the stamp positioner might be helpful. You certainly could try to do with a stamp block. There's no reason why you couldn't. But I just feel like the stamp positioner just gives me a little bit more control. I'm not kind of guessing, so to speak. So let me get this pressed down. I'm gonna lift that up. And there we've got our stamp. You can see how it just pops a little bit more. And after I get the card all created, I'll show you the difference just so that you can see that perhaps doing this extra step is worth the time and the effort. Again, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that. So let me move this off to the side now. And we're going to work to create the rest of the stamp. or the card. So I'm going to bring this back in. That's a messy side. Maybe turn it over a little bit. I'm going to bring this label in, and we are going to stamp in Daffodil Delight the sentiment, my thoughts of you are all heart-shaped. So let me go ahead and get this inked up. And I'm looking through, making sure I have good coverage. And then I can go ahead and center this up. And my thoughts of you are all heart-shaped. Okay, so now we've got that. Setting that off to the side. I'm going to clean my stamp. Let me see. Here we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut out one of the hearts. Now I was trying to save some time by doing some of the cutting ahead of time. But there was a technique that I wanted to show you that I think is very helpful to me. And in order for me to show that to you, I had to be able to die cut for you. So here's the first one that I die cut. The second one is going to be in white. And I'm going to bring that die in. Here it is. And then the other thing that I'm bringing in is I'm bringing in a piece of wax paper. This is a very delicate die. And sometimes when you have delicate dies, it's a little bit more difficult to get all your pieces out. They tend to, maybe want to cling a little bit more to the die. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this wax paper so that I can lay it down here. And I'm going to put my die on top of that wax paper. So you can see I've got my cardstock, I've got my wax paper, and then I've got my die. So let me bring in my cut and emboss. And we'll do this again. But I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my plates, my white, my wax paper, and then I can put my die on top of that. And then we're just gonna crank it all through. And I'm just gonna come back through this way just because I can. Take this all out of the way. And you can see, first of all, look how this just popped out. This just popped out. I didn't do anything. I moved it and it popped out. Wow, how cool is that? Look at that. Look how easy that was. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use my take your pick to kind of help me get it up off of my plate. Part of the reason for that is my plate is very well loved, and so it tends to go down into the grooves. But here we go. Pop this out. You can save this piece for something else. I mean, you've got this inner part that you can utilize, but I still have wax paper on this. And that's not a problem because I'm gonna look for where the wax paper is lifted and I can just peel this off. And how easy was that die? Oh my gosh, I love using wax paper for my intricate dies. So here we go. All right, let's move this stuff out of the way, put my die in a safe place, put this out of the way, and now we can actually start to build this card. So let me bring my card base back in. We'll get that folded. Okay. And then we've got this piece that's going to be adhered to the Daffodil Delight. So let's go ahead and get that done. So we've got that. And so I'm gonna get that down. I pick it up so I can just look at it, make sure everything's even the way that I want it. It is. I'm gonna adhere it to my card base here in just a second, but I'm gonna bring in my silicone mat and we're gonna actually adhere our hearts. So the first one, and they're gonna basically go like this. So let me just lay this out a little bit. We're gonna adhere this one here, and then I'm gonna take this one and I can adhere it down here. Look how this pops out so much more. Okay, well, we'll do that in just a second so you guys can see. All right, I'm gonna flip these over and I'm going back to my precision tip glue bottle. Now, You could, if you wanted to use adhesive paper that you would adhere to your cardstock before you die cut it. And then all you would have to do is peel it, much like I was peeling off the wax paper from the die cut. You would just peel it off and it would be sticky on one side, and then you could stick it down. I, again, just like to have the flexibility of being able to move things around if I don't get it down in the right place the right time, especially with this being so delicate. For me, the preference is to use glue, and I can just do little dots of glue all the way around. Then I can use my tweezers to help me get this laid down. So I'm gonna lay this down here, right about there. And then what I'll do is I'll take one of my stamp blocks and set this off to the side and let it adhere for a second. And while it's doing that, then I can go ahead and add glue to the back of this white heart that was so easy peasy to cut out of the die with the die utilizing the wax paper. You guys saw it, and it's so fun. It just, I don't know, you do that and you have this sense of accomplishment or something, because you don't have to spend any time being very careful about pulling it out because you're afraid that you're going to tear it or something because it's stuck in the die. All right, I'm going to bring this back and see if I can get this adhered down right about here. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lay that down there. Okay, we're going to give that a second. I'm going to bring in some more dimensionals, and I'm getting to a place, actually I've got quite a few on this one. So let's go ahead and put some dimensionals on this one. And then I'm actually gonna do dimensionals on the back of my cardstock here as well. I'll show you the difference between the two, but I really like dimensions. So I'm gonna go ahead and while I've got my dimensionals out, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to get dimensionals back here. Okay, move those off to the side. I'm gonna pick these off first. And then I can get this adhered, and I'm gonna center it. So because I'm centering it, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of wiggle room. So just a little bit of glue. Again, this glue is not for adherence, it's for wiggability. Is that a word? Is that another flu fog word I'm making up? Wiggability? Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyway, let me get this centered up. And again, I didn't leave much room. I cut this layer so that it's very tight. So you're only seeing just a tiny bit of the white from the base show through. Let's go ahead and take this, the backings off of my sentiment, and I can put my sentiment down here in the corner. So I'm gonna place it right about here. Looks good. Okay, and then I'm gonna bring my embellishments back in again, and we are going to do a big one. Let's see if I can get it picked up. There's one here. Here, and then I'm gonna put one, it's on my finger, so I'm just gonna use my finger right here. All right, so now the second card is done. So let me show you this way. Oops, sorry. Let me show you this way. Okay, you can see how it's a little bit darker. I also have popped up the layer so it doesn't lay so flat. Here's the first card. I like them both. This is a flat layer. This one's it's on dimensionals. But the other thing that I did is I just added just a really light layer of the pecan pie underneath my daffodil. Oh my gosh, my Daffodil Delight. That's what I thought. I thought I was saying it wrong. And it made it stand out a little bit more. So you guys can pick and choose. Which one do you like better? They're both really cute. One's got a little bit more color to it. The other one maybe not so much, but the same card. All right, last card. I'm also going to go a little bit rogue on this one. This one is a very easy card, but I'm gonna change it up just a tad. Again, the tutorial that you'll receive with your kit will, the tutorial is written like this card was designed. Okay, and I'm not changing it up that much. All right, so we've got basic white cardstock. I had initially used basic white for my layer. You can see this layer right here, except I want to shake it up a little bit. So I brought in some peach pie. I'm going to use my peach pie for a layer instead. And then I've got some designer series paper that we are going to adhere. I've gone ahead and I've cut out my Daffodil Delight heart. I also have a little sprig that was cut out of peach pie as well. So hence I'm going to really highlight that sprig because I'm using the the peach pie as my layer. And then I have a tag that we're going to stamp on that I actually pulled from the iconic imagery. This iconic imagery has this tag, and I really liked this tag. So I went ahead and pulled it. And then we're going to utilize the label that comes with the bundle that I'm utilizing, and we're going to stamp the sentiment on it. Okay, so let's go ahead, and we've got just a little bit of stamping to do. So let's go ahead and get that done. I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to bring in my, no. I think we're still going to use the old olive. I was thinking about switching up the colors, but nope, we're going to use the old olive, and I am going to stamp just because I care. So let me grab that stamp. And I think I can go right here. There we go. Clean that off real quick so I don't get my hands in it. Move this off to the side, and we are going to start building. All right, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and get this folded and burnished. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and build this layer. We'll put this layer down last. So I've got a number of pieces of designer series paper. I don't know what that is, but that's okay. We're going to cover it up. So I've got this piece, and I have this piece, and they're all pretty much the same size. This one is a smaller one of this piece, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. And then I've got this piece, and I'm going to use, let me see. Oh, I can use this side because I do like that side. This one's, I just need something a little bit lighter. That's a little bit, to me it's too dark. All right, so we've got those. Now I'm going to bring my paper trimmer back in because these guys are really thick and I don't have that much room on my paper, so, or my card front. So I'm going to bring this in first, and let me see, this is 2 inches. I'm going to take it to 1 3/4 inches. And there, I'm just haphazardly doing this. I don't even know if in the tutorial that I actually give you like cut off so much of this. I'm just cutting. So the nice part about that is you can do it however you want to. Now, something that you maybe saw me do. When I'm cutting, I don't want to cut into an actual point, because if I cut into the point, I risk snagging the paper, if you will. So you saw me lift up my trimmer handle so that I could put my blade in the middle, and then I can go from each side, and then my point stays pointy. So we have this one that I think I'm going, and it's going to be different. going to be this. My points are going all different wonky directions. It doesn't really matter. My next paper is going to be this one. And let me see, since I had 1.5 or 1 3/4, I think this one's going to be maybe, I don't want to go too far. So maybe I'm just going to come off 1/8 of an inch here. Just 1/8 of an inch, not a big deal. And this time I'm going to, and you could just, if you wanted to, you could actually just take your snips and do it. I'm just not. So let's see. Let's go this way. And I'm, okay. Just pulling those off to the side. And I can layer this one. And they don't all have to be cut straight. So let me see. Maybe this one, let me see. I want that. Let me see. Okay. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to keep this one straight. But we're going to do maybe 1 1/4, maybe 1.5. There is no method to my madness. I'm literally just looking at this and trying to decide this is too long. So I'm going to cut it down to, I don't know, 3 3/4. Like I said, I'm not, and then this one is going to be angled, so I'm just going to put it in. I like the size of that one. And let's see, I'll go ahead and put that in. Cut that down. I mean, this is one of those fun ones where it doesn't really matter, right? It just doesn't really matter. You can do it however you want to do it, and how it ends up is maybe how it's supposed to be. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this one down. And it's a little bit shorter. Let me see. Nope. It's a little bit shorter than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get this glued down. And let me see. I want my points to go from top to bottom. And again, this is a layer, so it doesn't really matter to me that it's off just a little bit, because it's gonna overlay on my card base. Okay. All right, this one, let's see, how do I want it to go? I maybe want it to go, yep, I guess the way it's cut. Hold on a second, playing around some more. Gotta get this one here, and this one's gonna go, that one's gonna go here, and this one's gonna go here. Yep. I like that. All right, so let's go ahead and get this one down. Actually, this one kind of went underneath there, didn't it? All right, so I'm going to angle this just a little bit more this way. Okay, and then we'll do this one this way. Do I want my branches going up, or do I want my branches going down? This way. I want them to go this way. Okay, and then we're going to just place this here. Got some peach pie going on. And then this one is going to go that way. Cool. Cool. All right, so let me get this on. And then we'll start building our sentiment banner. So take this, move it in about like that. Okay, I got it. Now what we'll do is we'll take my heart, and let me see, shall we put this down first? Yeah. I don't remember what I did last time. I don't remember if I put it down first or I built my heart on it, but let's go ahead and put it down this time. Where's my tweezers? My tweezers, they're right here. Do I have any on this one? No. Do I have any on this one? I have 2. So I have one here, and I have one here, and then I have this one that I'll just put in the middle. Let's put it this way. Okay, so let's get these off. it right about there. I'm not pressing down yet because I want to make sure it's straight. And I always tend to angle just a little bit. I don't know why. Sometimes I wonder if there's something inside my head that's a little off, and that's why everything looks off. I think it needs to come down just a tad, maybe just a little bit. All right, I'm going with it. All right, here we go. We're gonna bring back the silicone mat, and I am going to put glue basically just behind the leaves that I know are going to adhere to the label. So I've got this, I've got this. I mean, if I get it on one that doesn't necessarily go behind the label, it's not going to hurt things. Nobody's going to see it. It's not going to stick to anything, but I think that's good. So let me turn this over and bring this in, and I'm going to center this right about here, and I get to work with it just a little bit. Okay, so we've got that, and then I'm going to take my little sprig and we're going to incorporate it as well. You guys will have to tell me what you think, switching out the background. Did you like the white background better, or did you like the peach pie background better? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lay this down here. Okay, now we're gonna take some little mini dimensionals, which I have, where are they? They're right here. And I'm going to, we've got 1, 2, and I'm going to put one right in the middle. Okay, so let's take these off. Okay. And then I'm going to put this up here. And I'm going to try to get this centered. From edge to edge is what I'm trying to do. This edge and this edge. And does that look good? Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, so we got that. So now we're ready to adhere this to our card base. And I'm going to do that with dimensionals. I do love to pop things up. I do. So let's go ahead and get these down. And let me see, do I have one more? I do. I do. Let's do it like this. And I've got another one here, so we're gonna go like this. Oh my gosh. See, then I feel like I need to put them here, but I'm gonna resist. But just so you know, I probably, if I wasn't on camera, I probably would add more dimensionals. I'm trying to do better with how many dimensionals I use, but again, personal preference. I don't like sag, and if I feel like there's gonna be some sag, then I will add an additional dimensional. Not a big deal. But I know I don't want you guys to feel like you have to use all those dimensionals. All right, let me move this out of the way. I'm gonna bring this in and we're gonna center it in the card. And I'm gonna try to do this. Oh my goodness, I think I did that without even having to do any adjusting. I see a little bit of a, there we go. Let's see, let me look at it again. I think I did good. Okay, so now we've got this. Let's go ahead and let's do a few more embellishments. I'm almost out of the little ones, obviously, so I think we're just gonna use the big. And let me see, my putty on my end is starting to fizzle away. I may have to do a crank to get more of that out. But we've got one here, and I think I'm gonna do another one down here, and we'll do, let's see, I'm gonna do one here. Is that how many I want? Maybe one more, and we'll use this little one, and I'm gonna put the little one, where are we gonna put the little one? I'm gonna put the little one, I don't really want it. Okay, we're gonna put it right there. All right, there you guys go. This is card number 3. How pretty is that? Okay, you guys decide, do you like it better with the white or do you like it better with the peach pie? I picked peach pie because my little sprig was peach. My little sprig is peach over here too, but I almost kind of felt like I got lost. So I'm like, how do I make it stand out more? And so I did that. So let me come back to you. I'm going to share the cards again. We're almost done. Let's see. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And now I'm back with you. So let's go ahead. And we've got card number 3. We have card number 2 over here. And that was the one that I added just a little bit more color there. And then I didn't do anything different on this card. It's just how it is. And I know you guys can't see it because I'm in the way. But there you go. 3 cards utilizing the Heart Shaped Bundle. Now, hopefully you guys, if you've got this Heart Shaped Bundle, you can go create these cards or similar cards to that. Or if you don't have it, I promised you that I would come back. Let me see if I can do this. Maybe not. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to go to my website, and I'm going to put that up right now. It's aprildaviscreations.com. When you go to where I was showing you where the clubs are, there's also a to-go class there. My screen has gone blank on me, and I have to put in a passcode, and my keyboard's underneath my computer, so I can't get to it. Anyway, go to the website, go to April Davis Creations, go to classes and clubs, go to classes, go to to-go classes. It will give you all the information that you need, and it will also give you the host code. I have the host code here as well. I can take this down and put the host code up, but you don't have to copy it down. You can go to my website and get it. That's if you're interested in getting the kit, the card stock, everything you need to make 2 of each of these cards. If you're interested in getting this kit for free, then you'll want to place an order in my online store of $40 or more. If you're not, and you've got the tutorial on how to create this, then please be due to share of what, that didn't even make sense. Please do share what you've created. I love seeing all of your creations. So please do say hello. This video will be up on YouTube probably in the next day. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to my YouTube video, please do so. I'm so close to 800 subscribers. It's crazy. And I would just really, like 4 away. You could be one of those 4 to tip me over the 800. It just gives me an opportunity to be able to share more with more people, which is what I enjoy doing. It creates happiness. So anyway, good to see you guys. I'm glad to be back with you all, and I will see you next week. I will see you next week at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. It's my new time and date. So take care, everyone. Bye.